Hi, and welcome to my life in hazy, dusty Central Texas. We've had the usual kind of a hot day, so me and the Carney dog have mostly been in the air conditioning all day. But he still had to come out sometimes. We just didn't sit down and enjoy being outside much, except for very early in the morning when I didn't have my hair brushed and my glasses on. So now it's me and him out here in the dark, almost dark. But that cloud of Sahara dust is here, and everybody everywhere is having their allergy tablets and their Benadryl, and it don't help when he's as little as he is and he's in the dust all the time anyway. If there's dust, little tiny Chihuahua dogs will find it. What's the matter, buddy? Something itch? You tell her you need another bath? I don't know. I did some math today, and my fat and protein macros are almost spot on to what Dr. Bright suggests. And she would probably be happy that my workouts are reasonably gentle. I'm not doing excessive sparring. I mean, she said before that's how she really tore herself up, got a little too into that. But people do stuff like that. She does mention her style, but I don't think she mentioned what system. Like, I'm in the Shaolindo system, and she might be in some other line of schools. Although she got much further along than I am. Yes, the doggies over there are making the usual doggy sounds. Now, had evening fading of light, so I went out of my way and drove by some places close to the house that are like slightly overgrown with weeds. They don't get brush hogged often enough. And not a firefly to be found. They'll pop up eventually, but I'd like to see some. I'm not really seeing any meteors, even though it is Perseid time. I would like to see some meteors. I keep looking. That's one of the reasons I invite the dog to come outside when it's dark. I mean, he still needs doggy time. Yeah, don't you, buddy? Don't you? You're my little friend. Do you want to go down some more? He's already been and come back again. Three Little Pigs reference. But he is Dyson, and I am Kismet the Feral Grandma. And it is getting dark out here. I can make out stars. And if I thought I could get back up without help, I would probably just lay down on the deck and turn the light off. Or have someone else turn the light off. But even with the light on, I can make out stars through all the dust cloud. Sorry, I didn't realize I was just showing you the front door light. But the horizon is hazy and dusty looking even in the dim light. And the air has enough dust in it to leave my mouth tasting dusty. But I brought the cure for that out with me. My new water bottle. It's so big. What's the matter, puppy? What's my good boy doing? I think he's listening to all the other dogs in the area. Because somebody's walking around enjoying the nice evening. Pushing their kid on one of those little push toys that looks a little bit like a toy car or something. Kid sits down in it. And they've got a steering wheel to play with, and there's a big old handle sticking off the back for mom or dad to push. Now I can see the lights on a flight. And I don't think it's too far away. I think it's something small. And I can see some stars. But the main part of the Perseids should be just any time. And I haven't seen a single one yet. What good's meteor showers if I can't see any meteors? It's not even cloudy. Like I said, the only thing we got happening is that dust haze. And there should be a few meteors big enough to get through it. Or rather to be seen through it. But if I can see that star and that one's tiny, that might be a planet. That's pretty steady. It might be, I don't know. Oh, younger grandson is interested in astronomy and essentially space-related science. I recommended Dr. Tamitha Scove, and this recommendation, I don't know what her diet is, but she's a very qualified person who is frequently having live streams on YouTube, and she and other people where she's at are trying to get people to understand more about the sun and about the filaments and the solar winds and how it affects our magnetosphere. She's really cool. She's really smart. And she gives the kind of updates where, oh, hey, you might need a heads up that communications will be pure suckage or improved, you know, for emergency services, ham radio, and all that stuff. It's awesome that she knows that. I love her live streams. She looks pretty fit. I don't know, she might be carnivore. No telling. And it's real science. It's not some Loma Linda type graduate ranting and raving about how we should all be eating plants. There's another star I can see back there. The brightest ones are showing through the haze. I'm going to move a little bit. My face not on my camera real good. I've already got my ponytail undone. And I've done the wrong thing again. I've left ponytail holders from Monday and today hanging on my turn signal bar in the truck. What's up, puppy? You want some love? You can go down past me, I don't mind. I was just getting some more light on my face. Even though it's the wrong light. Say hi. Say hi to internet. It's okay. You don't have to say hi to the internet. You're just a cute dog. But the internet needs cute dogs. It makes them happy. I look at people's dogs on the internet, but you're the doggy that I pet. And I really need to get that clipper set. Take off all the extra long hair that stays wet so long when you get a bath. I think my brain is going in good directions. I sat down after my class and made some notes. And then just to make them a little more cryptic, I did a lot of swapping out words. So they're half in German, half in English. And it's in the same phrases. I might go English word, German word. Oh dear. I must be getting some water sometimes with air. Which means I'm getting near the bottom or I tipped it up too much. What, puppy? The ones across the street are done barking. It's the ones over there now. Yep, 2 doors north and second door west. Bark, 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 bark. Arr! You don't have to sing. Sometimes I try to get him wound up and get him to howl. He's got the cutest little tiny howl. But, yeah, my macros are almost spot on for today, and I should probably find some protein. I finished off an open bag of pepperoni slices, either yesterday or the day before. But I bought another one before that became an issue. Now, someone had got into the mild cheddar. He's a sharp cheddar fan. I'll get medium if I'm thinking it's for both of us. But he will open almost, yeah, I'm talking Loki. But he will open almost any package of cheese that is meant for snacking or having on the side. And he'll run through it. So I got into the mild cheddar, which I'm usually thinking of myself when I get it. And it was getting low, so I finished that off. And the next time I go to the store, I'll just get some more. And I'll get some sharp for him because he'll eat that first. But this time I did get to eat some of the mild. It paired very well with the pepperoni slices. I have to be careful with the pepperoni because if it's a really properly made brand of pepperoni, it might have fennel seed in it. Give it that little touch of heat that I can't have. There's so many really awesome preserved Italian meats that have fennel either as a main part of the seasoning or in addition to other seasonings. It's like biltong. Oh, you got to do this and this and this, and then roll it in crushed coriander. Not me. I don't get to eat that. It sounds awesome. It sounds like the texture would be right up my alley. I could probably make it with some cumin. Get a little smoky taste happening. I think I might want to do that. But I'm more inclined lately. I saw some videos. People were talking about and making beef in mason jars by chunking up brisket. Now, brisket is very collagen rich, so you're going to have a really good broth in that jar when you're done. You dry pack it. You put 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of canning and pickling salt. And as I have done before, you can sanitize your jars by running your dishwasher on a hot cycle. But since you're cold packing, you want the jar cold, you want the food cold, and you want the lids and rings to all be cooled off. And you want to go into cold water. That way everything comes up to temperature together and you don't get the breakage. So I'll continue to watch sale prices on brisket. And Loki is like, why? I don't have a smoker. It's the electric one that's not working. He has replaced some parts. And he could probably replace more parts. He just doesn't want to. He wants to shop. Oh, that big beast he's got up here that we've been using for several years either needs to go on its merry way and metals recycling, or somebody who wants to repair it can have it, or, you know, whatever. But for canning, I don't need it to already be smoked. And because it is collagen-rich meat, with a nice, I can trim the fat cap. That's okay, and I can reduce that for cooking, because rendered beef fat just is perfect for so many things. Oh, some of these kids stepped on something or ran their shin into something in the dark. Still no meteors. I would like to see more meteors. I don't think I looked at the last ones at all. Let me see, there's the Leonids, the Perseids, and 1 or 2 others during the course of the year. And where you live can make a big difference in how many you see. Because if they're coming out of a part of the northern sky, by northern I mean anywhere north of the equator, then you're not going to see them in Australia and New Zealand. Sometimes they come from the direction of a particular constellation, and that's how they get their name. Perseids from the Perseus constellation, and the Leonids from the Lion constellation. And I'm sure the others are named similarly. I can never think of all of them. I have discovered an excellent use for the 40-ounce water can. 2 packages of Shift BHB powder drink mix, and 1/2 teaspoon of electrolyte mix. So when I start sweating at class, I just wipe my face down a little bit and go get some. So I get both the electrolytes that we all need. I mean, you don't have to be recovering from anything to need electrolytes. They're good for your brain. They make your brain talk to itself better. Boy, doesn't that sound like a joke waiting to happen. But all those nerves, they're not quite touching. And the electrolytes provide the minerals in the interstitial fluids for the signal to jump across from one point to the other, like the points in a car. Older cars, newer ones don't have a point system anymore. Or think of the gap on a spark plug. You've got the peg underneath and you've got the hooked out part. And if it's gapped just right, that spark jumps across with no problem. Electrolytes make your brain sparks work with no problem. And I'm sure someone somewhere would lecture me about not comparing people to cars. I don't see why I shouldn't. There's people out there comparing people to furnaces all the time, referring to our food as calories. We're not furnaces. The first law of thermodynamics does not apply to humans. It applies to closed systems. We are not closed systems. If we were, we would blow up like a balloon and burst in a messy way every time we got gas or needed to belch. Instead, all we have to do is kind of relax and stretch a little bit, and that belch happens. Do you need to pee? Puppy can go down, it's not a problem. Do you need more light? You might need more light, but my phone didn't light up when I shook it. Stay close, buddy. I'm here, I'll back you up, but you gotta stay close. I gotta face the dark for a little bit more. I'm here, you can find a spot to go. Not gonna leave the doggy out here unsupervised. He wants me to, I'm sure. But I'm kind of afraid that a semi-large rabbit could beat him up. Stay close, buddy. Where's Mommy at? Hey, Mommy talking to you. Look over here, Dyson. Okay, he found a spot. Good boy. You gonna water the truck tire too? It's your truck, you can pee on it. I guess not. If you don't wanna, you don't have to. Oh, where was I going? Yeah, we're not a closed system. So if you choose different reaction mass, and let's face it, that's what it is. Your food is your reaction mass. It's chemical reactions and metabolic reactions. And it makes who you are. And it makes you healthy or unhealthy depending what you eat. And the right things for people to eat are the same things our ancestors have been eating since forever. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female, or what your age is, young or old, you need to be eating what's healthy. You need to be eating what turns on things like growth hormone and healing factors. Excitement again. All the doggies. It must be time to go in. So remember, eat what helps you feel better. If it doesn't make you better, then why bother to eat it? If it makes you feel sick, don't put it in your mouth. It's that simple. And, if you're raising kids and they say, hey, every time I eat, I feel sick, I feel icky, or if they feel icky after every meal. My older sister, allergic to milk. And it took forever for that to be taken seriously. My younger sister was allergic to cow's milk as a child, but grew out of that. And she's gone now, but things happen. And she's the one who lectured me about trying the Atkins diet, which was my introduction to low carb and keto. But listen to your family members and get an idea how people feel after they eat things. If someone feels sick after meals on a regular basis, they need to be logging what they're eating and when they feel sick, or if they feel that their mood is affected by it. Keep a food and mood journal, even if you're not sure that the food is affecting your mood. Dr. Georgia Eade would approve, and quite a few others for that matter. They want us to be okay too. It's not just me wanting you to be okay. I think I saw somewhere an announcement that either Dr. Eade's book or one of the others that I've got on my shopping list was on sale today on Amazon. But I can't remember which one, so I can't say for sure. I just know it was one of the books I was interested in. And Dr. Eade's book is Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. And people need to take that seriously. Because it's not just your emotions. I mean, you've got a huge amount of connection between your guts and your brain. So when you're eating the wrong things, you just feel worse and worse and worse. If you don't believe me, ask Carrie Mann. He spent far too many years just watching his life spiral downhill, down, down, down. And he'll tell you about it. In fact, he has told us about it in many videos. I had my own share of problems. I was born in 1966, and things rapidly went downhill from there. I was born with a goiter. And every time a doctor thought about looking closer, my mom would be, oh, she's always had that. And the doctor would press on it and ask me if it hurt. It didn't. And then when I was about 35, somebody I worked with said, what does your endocrinologist say about your thyroid? I'm like, my what? And my who? And this person was a qualified EMT where I worked at the time. My job saved my life. And he sent me to go speak to a doctor about my thyroid. And I was given some medicine to make it dump so that they could operate on it. Now, at first, they did not want to admit that there were 3 options. they offered me two options. I had to ask to get more information. The first option was hit it with radiation, kill it dead, and then take thyroid pills for the rest of my life. The second option was for taking a medication that would cause the thyroid to dump the amount of thyroid hormones that was overstocked because it was greatly enlarged. And then they would slice into my neck and take it out. I'm like, and then I would be taking pills for the rest of my life. I don't want rest of my life pills. And I was talking to the doctor about that. I said, is there any option to just bring it down to where it's still useful? And this was even scarier, and the doctor didn't really want to, but he told me about it because he was able to do it. Or because the surgeon was. I'm not sure who I was talking to at that point. I think it was the thyroid doctor himself. And he's going to be, in charge of my surgery team and everything. And the plan was open up the skin on my lower neck, where I have an impressive scar, and reduce the size of my thyroid to just a couple little thumbnail-sized pieces on each side. Just a little bit. So I was taking stuff for a couple of weeks in advance to make my thyroid dump so they could cut into it without causing a thyroid storm that could kill me on the operating table. So, thyroid reduced and no pills for the rest of my life unless something happens to make thyroid go wrong again, or to make one or the other piece, because there's a piece on each side. And I'm trying to see if there's any meteors, because I'm seeing more of the stars, and I'm not seeing any. I hear something chirping. I don't know if it's a cicada or a false cicada. A lot of people in Texas don't realize that what they call crickets, because they're chirping all over the place at certain times of year, are not really crickets. They're the false cicada. But they chirp and they're nice. They make people smile. So, okay, whatever. You ready to go in yet, boy? It's not real hot and I still have water. But anyway, you gotta do things. You gotta find information that will make you better. And that thyroid surgery is one of the things that made me better. And my diet decisions, I mentioned Atkins. That's another thing that made me better. In fact, it made me better so effectively that I was more than willing to try carnivore. Yep, there'll be something squeaking and chirping. And it's nice outside. It's a really pleasant temperature. I wonder if there's a night bird hanging around eating bugs. So, gather information and do what you can for yourself. Oh, there's the basil over there behind me. Pretty nice. And it smells good when the sun's on it. So if you've always loved gardening and you like the smell of certain things, plant them. Doesn't matter if you're not going to eat them. Plant what you like to have. Plant what you like to smell and see. Plant what you can give away easily. If all you can grow is squash, plant some squash. But when you give those away, make sure you give a 3x5 card with a good squash bread recipe or directions for making breaded fried squash or something. Because that's something that a lot of people are overwhelmed by. Some people lock their car doors at church just so that no one can leave unwanted vegetables on their backseat. But August is not the time for planting hardly anything anywhere. At least in Texas. We're going to have some melty days. And vehicle fires. Because if anything's wrong with your vehicle and you don't take care of that, you can get overheated to the point of bursting into flames while you're trying to drive the short distance from Georgetown to Austin or Georgetown to Round Rock. It is very possible that people who are used to not having to drive more than 20 minutes to get where they're going are moving here with vehicles that won't survive the heat and conditions. Of course, I'm thinking of California. We got a lot of people escaping California. So take care of your car, take care of your health, take care of your nutrition, and take care of each other. Remember, Grandma loves you and wants you to be okay. Good night.